All right. What is up, y'all? This is Will, and this is the Restaurant Owners Uncorked podcast, brought to you by us here at Schedulefly. Super simple, web-based restaurant employee scheduling software backed by legendary customer service. Legendary, like to the point that my personal cell phone number is on Schedulefly's website on like 3 pages. And if you want to learn more about Schedulefly, you can call me and you're going to get me on my flip phone, or you can even text me on this thing, and happy to tell you about it anytime. And then we have a low price point. We've never raised our prices in 18 years. We are not a venture-backed software company like most are. We are a small, privately held business that has simple software, great customer service, and a great passion for what we do. And we keep our prices low and our customers happy. So 30-day free trial at schedulefly.com. Anytime you want to give it a shot, if you're on pencil and paper or Excel for scheduling, will make life easier for you, save you time as an owner or manager. For your team, will have everything at their fingertips on their phones, which is what they kind of all expect these days anyway. And if you're on another scheduling software, you are probably paying a lot more money for bells and whistles and features you may not use. So schedulefly.com, give me a call, text me, set up the free trial anytime you want. We'd be happy to have a chance to earn your business. So that is Schedulefly. Now, this is the Restaurant Owners Uncorked podcast, and we are on episode 600 and something now. And we've been doing this 15 years since I had to beg people to come on and to explain what a podcast was. Now everybody knows what podcasts are, but not everybody has, of course, been on one. And that would include our guest today, Heidi. So this is her first podcast. So we're stoked to have that opportunity. Heidi, if you would please introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me, Will. I really appreciate it. My name is Heidi. I have been doing this for, my gosh, I can't even believe I'm saying it, almost 40 years. And I absolutely love it. So, and thank you for having me because, yeah, this is my first time. So, don't know what to expect, but I'm going to do the best that I can.
Well, look, I don't do interviews. I don't have a pre-list of questions. I don't have a set format. I just enjoy talking to people about why they're in the hospitality business, how it got started, what you love about it, what challenges you have. And that's what our audience are, folks like you that own restaurants that like to listen to their peers, learn from each other. A lot of times people say they listen for therapy because it's nice to hear that other people are dealing with the same things, because sometimes you're like, how in the world am I facing all this? Is it me, or, is it? And so that's really it. So you've been at this game for quite a while. And I have to tell you, when I got your email back about being on this show, it really just resonated so much, how much you clearly love what you do, and that you have what I would call the hospitality DNA. Because the things you talked about are like, I feel like if you don't have that and that love for people, which is what you emphasized, then it's already a challenging industry. But if you don't serve with a servant's heart and love serving other people, it's not the industry for you.
I agree with that. I absolutely love everything about the industry. Everything that you said was true. But it's about it's so much more. And if you're in the business for money, you're in the business for the wrong things. And it's not just about the guests themselves, the people that come in every single day to support you. It's also about the employees that come in every single day to support you, right? Because without them, I don't have a business. Um, so, and for some managers and owners, that is a hard line. They don't kind of understand you can have the best of both worlds. You don't have to necessarily be mean, abrasive. You can actually, I've worked with I've worked with women and men. I've worked with them for 15, 20 years, same position, same job. And it's really just about learning that fine line of how you treat the people, because if your employees are happy to come to work, then your customers will be absolutely serviced. There's nothing you need to worry about, but it is always the people that bring me back. We're right outside of Orlando. I was born at the hospital, literally not even 2 miles down the street. We won't say when that was, but, um, and there's just something about, even though it has grown. I mean, if you had told me 30, 40 years ago that my hometown would look the way that it is today and be as populated it is today, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at, and there's still so many people that I went to elementary school with, and that are here locally in the community, and I think, unfortunately, they've kind of gotten lost in the shuffle. We have a lot of older folks here in Florida as retirement capital, I would say, of the United States, and probably of the world. I have a lot of foreigners as well.
Yeah.
And I think they just kind of get lost in the shuffle and kind of forgotten about, and almost like uh, their their needs don't matter, that they just don't want to have fun, don't want to, don't necessarily deserve the quality of service. And I just totally disagree with that 1000%. And then of course the service. It's the service at the end of the day. Service anywhere. I read it day in and day out. I hear about it all the time. Um, the Reddit posts of, should I have tipped? Should I not have tipped? Why? Where's the tip going? And I understand it more than anybody doing it after all this time. But if you're providing good quality customer service, if you're treating your people right, tipping should never be a question, right? Because at the end of the day, if they've gotten great service, they don't even think about tipping. And yes, we do survive on our tips, but I'm never looking at the end of the day or expecting a tip. Um, a hug is the best thing I can get, or a smile is the best thing I can get at the end of the day. And that's all that matters to me. And kind of going back to what you were saying too, we've started a mental health Monday. That is something that we will be promoting, um, not only for the customers, but it is for the employees. It's something that we do. We check in with the employees on Mondays just to make sure everybody's good, everybody's okay. How was your weekend? Was there an incident? You know, what's going on in your life? And just keeping that door open so they know that they have someone. Just because I'm a manager or owner doesn't mean that you're not valuable to me and that your feelings don't matter. I absolutely need to know how you are as a person and if there's anything I can do to support you. Um, and that goes with the customers too. And it extends out to the customers on Monday. Come in, check in with us. We haven't heard from you. Are you okay? What's going on? So I think incorporating those things also into, even though we are a business, it's important to incorporate, those kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's on the tip of my tongue, but those kind of qualities in the employees, and not just from us. It's check in with your coworkers as well. Check in with your guests. So that's important for us. So yeah, it's a whole. I know we're a little bit different as far as probably the restaurant bar goes normally, but again, it's all about the people and the family. And that kind of goes hand in hand with hospitality and service, but it goes hand in hand across the board with your team members and your customers as well.
Love that. Love that. There's a few things I want to dive into that you just said. Tell me, so there's one question that I ask every guest on this show is, when and why did you get initially started in hospitality?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So without giving my age away, you know, we were able, I mean, I've been working, I started babysitting at like 9 years old, 10 years old. We were able to go and do that, right? I didn't
Yeah.
have mom and dad with me to do that. And then so progressively, going through those middle school years and those high school years, again, was able to start working legally at 14. We
Right.
had on the job training back then, OJT, I could get out of high school early. So I was already working. One of my first jobs was um, Subway, Blimpie back in the day. Those were my
Yeah.
first.
Lumpy
Yeah,
subs.
remember Blimpie subs?
Yeah.
So those were some of my first. Kmart was one of my other ones. And Kmart probably did it for me because I worked at the customer service desk. Even though I was 14 years old, I was at the customer service desk because I was super fast and I was super great with people, loved the interaction. Um, and so then I immediately, probably around the age of 16, 17, when I technically wasn't supposed to be bartending or serving, I had gotten that position. Um, and I think for me, I have ADHD. If no one can tell, I have ADHD. So I always need something fast. I need something fast, upbeat, multitasking. The more the busier I am, the more I have on my plate, the better I do.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that was, and then of course my first jobs were Calico Jacks, Hooters, and American Pie, good old American Pie in Atlanta, because my family had moved briefly over there, um, up to Atlanta from Florida. So all of those combined, it was just so fun. They were so challenging. We were so busy. Um, and then, of course, who really did it for me, believe it or not, it actually wasn't until, so I had worked 2, 3 jobs that entire time, because I loved the industry so much, but I was still going to school, having kids, married, raising them, cosmetology license. I still have my Class A truck driver license, real estate. Um, I never believe in just stopping and doing one thing. Challenge yourself to do many things, but I was still always bartending and serving on the side, in the evenings. And then there was one gentleman, his name's Pete. I still talk to him to this day. Amazing owner, amazing. And he definitely, you knew where you stood. You knew you had a job to do your job, do it well, do it right. Um, but you always knew that you could go to him for anything. And he was so knowledgeable and he wasn't afraid to share that knowledge, help you in any way that you needed to succeed. And I firmly believe that. And I have always managed to this day with that attitude of my goal. We just had a meeting actually the other day of training. And yes, I have very experienced bartenders, and cooks, but it doesn't mean that you're actually knowledgeable, right? Because depending upon an old school, our training was learning how to carry the plates, learning how to approach the tables. Today, training does not include any of that. The idea of training for most retailers and hospitality is just simply follow this person, learn the POS system, sit down and watch these videos. That's not learning anything. That's not teaching you anything. So, you can teach a monkey to make drinks, by watching a computer or by training him in repetition. That's
Yeah.
not service, and that's not this job. So I believe in training people not only to be as good as me, but to be better. So if I can train you to be as good as me or better, take that and do better for yourself. If you can go to Orlando and make $1,000 a night as a bartender, I got you. I'm going to make you get there. Um,
Mm.
so, and I think again, some businesses get nervous, some managers get nervous about wanting them to do better and trying to hold them back and keep them back. And I'm the total opposite.
I love that. I love that because if you're, that all comes back around. I mean, you're helping other people be more successful and better and moving on, then you become the place where people want to come work because the ambitious people that want to grow and excel and get better. Where do we go? We go work for Heidi and learn from her. And, um, oh man, what a great philosophy. So tell me, first of all, okay, you have a truck driver's license?
Yeah, I've got a Class A truck drivers, yes. I love it. Speaking it next to hospitality, best job ever. Same thing. I get to wear whatever I want, could talk on the phone, listen to the radio,
I love
do all
you,
that stuff.
Heidi. I love
Fantastic. And I
you.
graduated top of my class out of 130 people. I actually learned how to do it the proper way in Utah years ago. Someone challenged me. They said, I'm 5 feet tall. And somebody said, you can't do that. And don't ever dare me. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And I, I did. And I graduated top of my class, clean, knock on wood, clean driver's license, to this day. And, yeah, I love it. So I can still hop on a semi truck and drive cross country, did all of it. Yeah. Loved it.
That's so awesome, Heidi. I love.
I would bartend at night, and then I would actually, not that I should probably be saying this, but I would bartend until like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I would get in my truck. I'd go over to the lot, pick up my truck, and then I would turn around and drive to Tennessee or wherever they needed me. And I would sleep in the cab of the truck until it was time to go and I was unloaded, ready to go. And then I would drive back to work and I would start all over again, do the whole thing all over again.
When were you doing this?
Oh my gosh, I did this probably up until, um, oh gosh, I guess now it's been 5 years ago. The only reason I stopped, because it really it was best of both worlds, bartending during the day and half the night. And then, of course, you're awake after you bartend. So I just get in the truck and go. But I got hit by a car. I got hit by a car. And I personally got hit by a car. Got out of my truck, stopped at one of the fuel stations, got out of my truck, and a car didn't see me. I was walking back to my truck from getting a water and clocked me, and just left me there. Broke my neck, broke my arm, um, had surgery, totally fine, but I can't do my job like that anymore because I only have like 80% use of my neck. But yeah, that's the only reason. Other than that, I'd still probably be doing it.
So you are what a unique person, man. You said you have kids.
I do. I've got grandchildren now. I
Oh, come
do.
on.
I
You
do.
don't have
I
grandkids. Do
I
you
do.
really?
I do. I do. Got little rock stars. Yeah, I do. Legends in the making. Absolutely love it. I did. I kind of did everything backwards. I was a rebel. A little wild in my days. Got pregnant, had the kid, all out of order, got married after the fact, did all that. I wouldn't change a thing. I'm so grateful I had the children early. My kids have participated definitely in the restaurant business, whether it be cleaning up the tables, serving, um, I've always, I've always raised the kids. You can do anything. You can do anything. You can be anything. It might be a little extra hard work, but you can do it. And I always believe in learning by example. So teaching by example. So how could I ever tell my kids that they could do whatever they wanted to if I'm not leading by example? So I may be a little extreme of the fact of I've done psychology, I've done law, I want to finish my law degree. I've had a real estate license, cosmetology license. I've got my class A. Um, and I think, again, it all comes down to the business aspect, the hospitality, the service of engaging with people and what can I be better at? What can I do? What can I offer? And then I can take all of that knowledge and I can actually reach out and connect with my guests so much more just from all the life experiences that I've had. And I think it's honestly, I think it makes me a better parent and a better grandmother as well. I think it just makes me an overall better human to just always push the limits, see what you can do, see your ability to challenge yourself. You get too comfortable, go beyond that, challenge yourself. And again, I think that leads back to owning a restaurant, a bar is always challenging. The great thing about the industry is it's always changing. Um, you can be creative. Um, but I can connect. I have truck drivers, right? I have truck drivers. I have real estate agents. I have cosmetologists. I have all of those things. And we actually have things that we can talk about and we can discuss. And they just don't feel so alone there and slumped over or they've had a tough day. It's like, okay, talk to me, tell me about it. So
Mm.
I think there's advantages to living the life that I've done and traveling and doing all of that too, and bringing that into the hospitality industry as well.
Well, you can talk to like anybody that comes. Oh, you're a lawyer. Okay, cool. Oh, you're a cosmetologist.
I
Cool.
have,
I
I
mean,
have, I have to disclaim that do not have my law degree, but yes, I've definitely helped. I've definitely helped. I've helped two exes get custody of their children, and I've definitely helped customers along the way with some issues that they've had to help them personally as well. So, yeah.
so you mentioned you have ADHD. Um, I find it really interesting. I mean, that runs through my my DNA as well. But I the word disorder is just so weird to me. Like, because it sounds like it has a negative connotation. I, I think ADHD or whatever you want to call it, I would just say you have a freaking badass, strong engine that like it's like I mean, I know there's this book that this dude wrote called ADHD is a superpower. And I totally like if you know how to harness it, it is not a problem. It's like again, like understanding it, knowing how to deploy that energy effectively into positive things gives you superpowers. Like you have the energy and bandwidth to do way more than most people can do. Like way more. I know you're leading by example, but you're also you're you're wired to just like continue to learn and take on new things, and that's like something that a lot of people that maybe don't have ADHD, I would say you look at that and go, maybe I wish I did, because like it's incredible, Heidi, all the stuff that you've done and are doing. What so tell me about when did you open your first place on your own?
Um, that was oh gosh, that's such a long and complicated story. But that was quite a few years ago. Everything was fine. Everything went well. Um, and and then unfortunately my father got ill and had to move back to Florida, which ended up being the best thing. I always planned on coming back anyway. So, but that was
You were in Atlanta?
I was in Atlanta. Yes,
Okay.
I was in Atlanta. So, and it gets a little more complicated because I was really helping out somebody else accomplish what they needed to accomplish. And it just led from one thing to another. So, and that's where we're at here. Ended up again, the same kind of situation of kind of going back to everybody thinks that a bar is easy or it's everybody's dream to own a bar, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Seems cool. Seems, oh, great. The uncle's in there hanging out, like buying
right.
things. Like, oh, looks like a lot of fun. Looks cool. That's like, what is it, like 1% of the deal or something? Like,
Yeah, it is. It's and And I was doing the same thing as before, which always ends up being the owners check out, then it falls on someone to pick up the pieces. And before you know it, once again, you're putting your money in, you're putting your time in. I mean, you're talking 20, when I do an event, I'm lucky if I go 24, 36 hours before I'm sleeping, you know, um, 20-hour days every day, 7 days a week, and that's why I said if you're in it for the money, um, you know, you're in it for the wrong reasons. Um, It can never be about the money because there's just so much of your life that is just consumed by this if you're doing it right. This is not a business that if you want to be successful, you're not giving your drinks away, not even to your friends. Um, you take it seriously. At the end of the day, I'm here for my employees. It's all about fun, but it's also about safety. There's no drinking on the job. Sorry. Sorry, folks. There's no drinking on the job. We are responsible for people's lives.
Mm.
So I do take owning this business very seriously. And I think that gets lost. And I agree with you with ADHD. It is a superpower. I think it gives me that energy. I mean, can you imagine? I'm just like this. It's crazy. What, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm ready to go. And we got to keep going, keep going all the way. I can't imagine, drinking and doing drugs and doing all of that. I'm a hot mess as it is, but it does afford me the ability to be able to multitask, spend those 20 hours, think of the small details. I mean, I have blankets for my customers for sitting on the rocking chairs outside on a beautiful fall day so they can keep themselves, comfy warm. I think of the pillows, that they can snuggle behind their backs, to be a little more comfortable. If they're doing the long haul with us and playing bingo or trivia or live music, that night. I agree most definitely it's a superpower. I actually think it's a huge disadvantage almost not to be ADHD, especially bartending. When you've got to remember 20 drinks, 10 drinks to make them, ring them in, you don't you don't get to go back in after every drink and ring that in. You've got to sit there and you've got to remember, and I've got to remember maybe 15 minutes later. And yes, you can do it. Yes, it is possible. But I think ADHD just makes that so much easier. I'm calmer the busier it is, the more challenged I am. So, and again, no matter what location, no matter how many times you do it, it's always about being better, right? It's about looking at this place first and then moving on and going, okay, what can I do different? Where did I go wrong? Okay, it was successful, but it was totally different concept. What can I do this time around? So that's again what I'm always trying to achieve is better, better, better for the guests, for the community, and for the employees. What can we do better?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you had a place in Atlanta and then you moved back to Florida. And then what's your story now? How many places do you have down there now?
We just have the one. We are looking to, after we do this here, we are looking into the future. Um,
What's the name of your place?
it's called Raise the Bar and Grill.
Raise the Bar and Grill.
And the reason we're naming it Raise the Bar and Grill is going back to that core of, again, seeing the mundane actions of the industry around you and the lack of the customer service, the lack of the quality of food, the lack of the quality of drinks, even just down to garnishes. A garnish makes a huge difference in a drink was part of our meeting the other day. Those fresh juices, those garnishes are meant to be in the drink for a reason. So, and don't, those are, and how important those are. So we're just raise the bar, not only for raise the bar for ourselves, raise the bar for the industry, raise the bar locally, competition wise. We're saying meet that standard, step it up a little, um, do better. Do better. I mean, we all need to do better as humans in general, right? But we can also do better in the business that we're in as well. And I think, just cutting corners, and you got to be careful of that and what you're cutting, and then, how that affects your community. And that's the other thing too, is raising the bar for our community, not only the people that live in it, but the children that are coming up, the elderly. We have the homes, the elderly homes, assisted living. We want to always help that. We want to bring up the children and make sure our community is getting what they need. Also, our veterans, very important here. Your veterans, your first responders, just making sure that, again, what can we do for our community as well? And doing anything that we can to say thank you, whether it be discounts. We have loyalty points that we offer just to say, again, thank you. If you pay cash, you get a discount. All of that geared to just more thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for supporting us when they have so many other choices and places to go to today.
Man, this, uh,
Did I surprise you?
I just love this because you represent all of the qualities of what I think about when I think of just a wonderful, independent restaurant owner that cares about their community, that has a place that is unique to that community. I believe firmly that independent restaurants and small businesses are the um, beating heart of any great community, and because that is where you're unique, right? Like, you don't have 1,000 locations. You have one, and it's there, and it matters to those senior citizens and those veterans and those children, and you care about your community. And great restaurant owners are so valuable to the communities they're in because they give so much love, passion, energy, time, money, food to those communities. And you cannot tell me a town or a big city or a small town like Waxhaw here is great. When I ask you why is it a great place, it's always going to come very quickly to, if you list the reasons, well, they've got all these great local independent restaurants that just do so much in that community. You've talked about, I mean, the message I get from you is that you spend all of your energy caring about people, right? Raising people up, raising the bar, but raising people up to be better in their careers, um, giving people service that makes their day better, whether they come in to mourn a loss or celebrate something or just to get away from life, to be treated well. And that's what, I mean, this is why I've been doing this podcast 15 years and I'll never stop, because this kind of stuff we need more of it. And I love the topic, raise the bar, Heidi. It's funny because I have a lot of friends that own businesses as well. And, we talk a lot about how low the bar is in like every aspect of our lives right now, right? So it's like fortunate and unfortunate, meaning it's fortunate if you're a business owner and you get that and you provide just what you and I would call basic common sense. We've been long enough to know, like, treating people with courtesy, looking them in the eye, being intentional, being present in the conversation, genuinely caring. Like, people pick up on that. And it's rare these days, so it gives you an advantage as a business owner. But it's unfortunate that we're having to ask people to raise the bar because the bar has gotten so
So
low.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has. And, and even especially here, they want us present as owners. They want to feel connected to you as an owner. They want to know, they want to be able to say, "Hey, I know the owner of." They want to interact with you. They want to know that their input matters, right? That their feelings matter, and they should. And everybody should feel that way. Um, you're just not a dollar bill to me. I sincerely do care about what is going on with your lives, but it also matters of how is the food today? How is the drink today? um, that it isn't made subpar, that every single person matters. I don't care how big or how little your wallet is. And if that just means you just want, a soda today and a cup of soup, I've totally got you. Um, Everybody and everything should matter. And again, raising the bar should be also a reflection on you as far as just making sure that you raise the bar every day internally for yourself, to do better every day as a human. Make sure that you don't forget those little things. And I just think that's so important. And then it goes right back into the business, right back into your people. And like I said earlier, the best thing you can have is a smile. It's the best thing in the world. Just making their day a little bit easier.
Yeah. Well, you studied psychology. I mean, the one common thing that we all have is we want to feel like we matter. We want to feel validated. And that's not hard to accomplish. If you're intentional about it to make people feel welcomed and validated and like they matter, and that their feedback is heard. I mean, so many big corporations, you feel like, I mean, you just know it's like, why even, like, they don't care. You're just a number, like, whatever. Um, well, what is, there's a lot of, there's a lot going on right now in this space. I mean, like at the macro level, right? You got tariffs, you got
There is.
immigration, you got rising protein prices. Like what are some of the biggest things that you are thinking about right now that you have to adjust for or try to, it's a lot of this you can't control it. So, like, but what are some of the biggest challenges that you think about right now?
Well, you're absolutely right, because right now is a challenging time to be opening and operating. Tariffs for sure. Food costs. Food costs are, I mean, everybody knows, even if you're just going to buy hamburger at the grocery store, we see the prices. Eggs, bread just went up drastically. Bread, um,
Okay.
bread, bread,
Yeah.
absolutely went up drastically. So, and again, being a small business owner, how do you not pass those rising costs along to your customers? It's difficult. Um, definitely, I definitely see challenges for the next couple of years, with the way that everything is going. But again, I believe making a steady product, being consistent, watching that quality. Um, it's okay. I don't want, nobody's going to walk in here and they get, you know, a sandwich that looks like they could have just made that at home. I want it to be a to-go portion. I want it to be right where they're eating half of the sandwich in the restaurant and then half of it to go. Because then they feel like, and they should get what they're paying for. So I think there's some, and how do you accomplish that, without giving up quality? There are some things that we're doing, um, changing. the dinner situation where, instead of doing dinners on a regular basis in the evening, it's, looking where we can save that cost, pass that savings on to our customer, whether it be steak or prime rib or hamburger, creating a special for that evening starting at 4 o'clock, and then it goes until we sell out, um, to help keep that cost down, for our customers too, as well as for us. So I think there's a couple of things that you can do. But even with liquor and beer prices, everything is just going up. So um, and having the staff that I have that is absolutely amazing to just understand teamwork. We work together. I'm here 24/7, whether I'm on the schedule or not. And that means, yes, I ask a lot from them. They're working hard, they're working fast, but I'm always here as a backup for them. I'll always have their back. But you can't overstaff. I can't have 5 people working anymore. It's the people that I have working that have to work twice as hard, but I'm here for you. I'm your backup. And being able to step it up to the plate. And so many times I've seen it and experienced myself because I've been doing this for years, where you've got a bartender or your kitchen, your line is in the weeds, right? And the manager sitting in a booth in the back of the restaurant, just sitting there on their computer or on their phone. You're not going to find that. I'm not going to do that. I don't do that. Again, it's about where can we cut, but what can I do to help support my team and what can they do to do it together? We have to just do it together.
Yeah. Gotcha. Um, how is it? How is the traffic? Like, are you guys are customers coming in as frequently, or are you seeing people go out less? Or
We're fine. But I you're definitely things seeing things change within the community. As far as not not really going out and participating in um events. I think guests are being a lot more cautious about how they spend their money and what they're getting for their money, most definitely. And I think you see those cutbacks coming in forms of menu choices, and you're seeing it in the form of entertainment. You're not seeing as many live bands, events, things like that. So there's definitely cost cutting going on. And, I don't know if you're aware, but here in Florida, we're down 30% for tourism. I think there's a lot of things that are playing into that. I don't think I need to mention what those are, but I definitely even think moving forward here this year and probably into the next couple years, I think we're going to see a huge decrease, see that 30% stay steady over the next couple of years with snowbirds. I just don't think we're going to see them this year. And we're prepared for that. And I've adjusted for that. Um, and then, of course, a lot of people think that because we are Florida, that summer is an actual big time for us, where it's actually the complete opposite. Summertime is our slow time. It's busy if you're Disney, and the parks, but it's not busy restaurant wise. So we've come up with some events moving forward, already at that time to adjust for that. But yeah, there's definitely some changes in the community. So
yeah, summers is it was it's so hot there in the summertime.
it is hot. It is for sure. I mean, those 100 and plus days will get you. But we are at the coast. But it's just here locally for us. People come, they come for, Disney and the theme parks and stuff. But at that point, we're done with football. We finished that, February. So we're done with football. And then, yeah, it just gets hot. And then we're all still plugging away, working. school's out, kids are home, and you know, so we're adjusting for all of that too.
Good. Good deal. Good deal. Um, all right. What else is on your mind? Anything else we should wrap about before we wrap this up?
Again, thank you. This has been a great experience. I would just like to stick to my motto of love your job, love the people that you work with, love the people that you work for, which is still your team and your guests. Um, and never forget, they're the ones that keep you there. They're the ones that support you. Um, and success will follow you. And it depends upon how you measure success. Um, because I measure it not only by what financial brings, but it's about, again, watching my crew succeed, my guests happy, just do better. We just all need to do better, just from business, from humanity standpoint, do better. And there are things, I think the business, I think more people need to step it up and remember what it actually means, the service part. Service. You cannot lose the service. And service includes when you ask somebody how they want it cooked. Do you want that lettuce, tomato, onion? Ask them, verify it. Don't just go, oh, yeah, well, the customer didn't tell me they didn't want tomato. No, no, you didn't ask them. That's your service. We're here providing a service. And that nobody's difficult. You don't know what's going on with them. You don't know what their day is. You have no idea. Just be kinder. And yes, and the business aspect of it will follow you. Be creative. Drinks are fun. Food is fun. Be creative. Listen to what people have to say, your customers and your team. That's what's going to make you successful. We need to get back to that. And I think not so many of us would be closing down anymore. We wouldn't be falling to the big man if we could just get to those cores again that I think have just been lost in the shuffle.
Amen. Last question is if you
I
were,
didn't do it.
what's that?
I said I didn't do it.
No, no. The last thing is I always ask. This. I've started doing this recently. It's been fun. So pretend right now that you are talking to a room full of your customers. What would you say to them?
Gosh, just thinking about that makes me cry right now. Thank you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Because without them, it's not possible. And they know. See, I'm already tearing up.
Yeah.
Um, I do care. It's crazy. Um, I do care. I care about each and every one of them. I get offended when somebody says that I don't. Um, and thank you. I love you. And I'm here for whatever you need. And thank you for supporting us. And we'll continue to do the best. And if I don't, you take me outside and have a conversation with me. So, but I love them and thank you.
Ah, there you go. What a great way to wrap this up. Uh, thank you all for listening. What a wonderful episode. I've been asking this. If any other episode you haven't done this yet, this is certainly one I know you'll agree. Go give this podcast a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify or wherever you're listening, because the more ratings we get, the algorithm puts this kind of content in front of more people. So we really appreciate your ratings, your comments. Heidi, what a great conversation. I so thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm so grateful I got to know you. I'm so proud of you and your team for what y'all are doing. What I would say to your customers, if I were looking at them, is y'all are some lucky folks because you got somebody that really genuinely cares about you and the community there. And that's like comes across very much in this conversation. And somebody that's just authentic, and has a big heart for the community. So you're some lucky folks. So Heidi, thank you very much for doing this today.
Thank you for having me. I loved it. Thank you.
All righty, y'all. That is a wrap. More episodes coming soon. See you.